What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Brenner Video YouTube channel. And today we're in York Haven, Pennsylvania at Baps Motor Speedway for another episode of Inside the Helmet. This would be number 23 featuring Jennifer Lesher. Jennifer, thank you for being with us.
You're welcome. I appreciate it.
What is this behind us?
This is a limited late model.
Limited late model.
Yep.
How long have you been driving a limited late model?
I believe since 2016.
That's quite a while.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like that long. It seems like I just started running these cars a couple years ago, but it has been quite a while.
What got you into racing?
I ran 4 cylinders when I was younger. Probably, I was like a senior in high school, I think. I ran some 4 cylinders at Linda Speedway in Jonestown. So I started out there. Actually, I started in a Lady Thunder car class. I was told that the only way that I could move up is if I won the championship in the Lady Thunder cars, and then my dad and his friend would build me a car and let me move up. That happened the first year, so then I got to build a 4 cylinder. So I ran Linda's. Mainly I ran Trailways, so I ran there probably till, I don't know, roughly maybe like 2004 or so, 2005, something like that.
What is a Lady Thunder car?
So basically it was a Thunder car, it's a 4 cylinder, like there was a Thunder car class and a Pro Stock class. There was a little bit of difference between them, carburetors, tires, things like that. You couldn't use racing rubber on the Thunder car class. It was a lot of the wives and stuff of the other drivers. They had just like this class, so they ran like maybe like 4 or 5 races a year. And it was just girls only that they had the Thunder car class.
They were rear-wheel drive, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, the rear-wheel drive.
So
yeah.
4-cylinder that we're used to around here, that's not what that was.
No, so this was a Pinto.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I feel like that would get you more ready for this class than if it was a front-wheel drive.
Yeah, I think so. It was still totally different than running these cars here. Obviously, these are like night day compared to the 4-cylinder.
Power's a little different.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Everything's a little different. There's not all that set up on the 4-cylinder. So.
Is racing big in your family?
So how I got in the 4-cylinder thing was my dad was best friends with a guy named Troy Hostetter who raced, and he used to build his own chassis. We helped him. I was, I don't know, maybe 12, 13, 14 years old when we started, so we would go to Linda's every week and everything, and I always said I wanted to race, and Troy had built me a car when I was in high school to run the Lady Thunder car class. But from the late model standpoint, that their family is too. So I'm sure that you guys know Zekman, Dan Zekman, the late Don Zekman, late Randy Zekman. So that's all part of my family. So that comes from my dad's side of the family. So I've been watching them for years race, and I always said I always wanted to run a late model. That was always my dream.
Is there a meaning behind the number?
There is a meaning behind the number. So the 711 is Troy, the guy who built my first race car for me that my dad used to help and we used to crew chief with. That was his number. So when he built me my first car, I had asked if I could have that number. So I've stuck with that number ever since. So
how was it getting into a late model?
I got into it, this real quick backstory on how I got into it was I came here for Kenny Wallace racing experience to run a late model because that's what I always wanted to do. I had gotten an experience that I was given, and I think it was like 20 laps or something like that. So we came here, and some of my family and stuff came, and they tried to teach you like, oh, you got to let off here, get back on the gas here. You know, they don't shift or anything like that in those Kenny Wallace cars. You know what I mean? So they're a little different. But so we went out there, and they made me stop after like, I don't know, 10, 15 laps or something. They came in and they said that you have to slow down or otherwise we're going to pull you off the track because you're going to wreck the car. And I'm like, I'm not going to wreck the car. I promise you I won't wreck it. You know what I mean? It won't get that bad. So anyways, after that was all said and done, my cousin Dan Zekman said, I don't really think that was a real experience. You wanted a real experience. So at the end of, that was in May, and at the end of the season in October, Dan had called me and said, hey, what are you doing Wednesday night? And I was like, nothing. He goes, want to come to Test and Tune? Want to take my car out? And I was like, yeah, right, okay. That's what happened. That's how it got started. So that was in October, and I think by like the weekend before Thanksgiving, Dan and I went and picked up a car in Jersey. That's how it all started. I don't even think I told my dad where I was at the time, and I just called and said, hey, I bought a late model, so tell Mom to get her car out of the garage.
How did you make out last season?
I didn't make out too bad last season. It's 3 years ago now. I started to go to Clinton County. So I do like Clinton County. That's kind of that's my favorite track to run. I did have a decent run at Clinton County. We did have a lot of rain out, so there wasn't a whole lot of shows. I think I ended up second in points there last year, just because, of a little bit of consistency there. So it didn't go too bad. We're doing some changes this year. We've been having a big change in shocks and things like that. So that's been a struggle for us. Trying to get a hold of the track here has been a struggle. It's more of a struggle here at Bass for me than it is at Clinton County. Seem to have a lot better luck there at Clinton County, but we've been doing a lot of messing with shocks and stuff right now this year. So it's been a little bit of a struggle, but I think we're getting back on the right track. I've had a little bit of help from, obviously, Travis, my husband, some other people, Hunter at Penske, and a couple other guys we race with, Cody Lear. He's been helping me out a little bit. So I think we're getting back on the track now. So hopefully tonight's a decent night and some improvements.
If you could drive any other car, what would it be? Any other kind of racing?
Any other kind of racing?
Anything.
I don't think I'd want to drive anything else.
Stay in a late model.
This is all I ever wanted to drive. I don't have a desire to drive a sprint car. I messed around with some go-karts when I was young, but I'm fenders. I don't I don't do wings. I don't have a desire to run asphalt or anything like that. I've been able to do my dream, which is, run a late model. I wish I could maybe have some better runs, but hopefully we'll get there eventually. But
sponsors, who are your sponsors?
So my sponsor, one of my main sponsors is Myers RV. That's where I work. I'm the finance manager there. I've worked for Myers RV since 2018, and they've been a sponsor since 2018. So I've worked with them. Obviously, working there allows me to be able to do things like this. Otherwise, it's a great career. I have Moose's LZ. That is Moose and Pam Zierfoss. They have the Moose's LZ bar out in Jonestown. Their son is obviously Brock Zierfoss. They're great. They've been a great sponsor for the last several years. I have Boltz's RV Service, 116 Racing Products, obviously, now my husband. You have Gary Hairmaker does our engines, Amsoil, a lot of good people who've stuck by us the whole time. So
what are the plans for this evening?
So the plans for this evening is last time when we were here, we were trying to get back on track with some things, and we made some changes, and we feel that by the Consi we had gotten a little bit back on track, getting a hold of the track better. It was very slick and stuff and dusty last time we were here. But unfortunately, we missed the heat by one spot to get in the feature, and then we missed the Consi by one spot. There were some changes we wanted to do and wanted to try, and we were really excited to try them, and we didn't get to do it because obviously we didn't make it out. So hopefully tonight, that's the goal. We have some things we want to do and try tonight. So hopefully we can make the feature and be able to see where it's at. Maybe we'll make the feature with this storm, who knows?
If anyone wants to follow you, how can they do that?
I have, obviously, my personal Facebook page is Jennifer Lesher, but I have Lesher Motorsports on Facebook, so that can be followed on there.
Jennifer, thank you for having us out.
You're welcome.
We really appreciate it. Like, subscribe, comment down below. We'll see you on the next one.
Built for horsepower, filmed full throttle.